I'm not late. God, look at that gray. I should probably pull my hair down so you can't see all my grays and see how old I really am. Let's do that. It's fucking hotter than hell out here, but I can't have you seeing the grays. Right? Am I right, girls? Oh, okay. There. Can't see the grays so much, can we? Here we go. Welcome to Irma Interviews. I have something on my eyeball, too. Tonight I'm going to be interviewing somebody very special, somebody that we all love. Hey, Holly, what's up? Somebody that we all that not a lot of us actually get to know him. I've been blessed to get to know him. And there he is, the man behind the memes. Oh, I see B. B. I see a B.
He's being a goofball.
Oh, it's like his daddy. Hi,
Yeah.
B.
You say hi?
Hello.
Hello. What are you up to?
Nothing.
Nothing.
He's gonna be a goofball.
Are you sure?
Pretty much. That's how he rolled. He was all excited to do this. He's like,
Of
look, Dad, I'm
course.
just gonna pop up into the frame anywhere.
Hey, you got Gabe yelling at you. You better yell back. Don't
Gabe!
neglect him. Yes, Gabe. B, yell Gabe. Say Gabe, yell.
Don't yell.
Hey, B, tell Gabe he's almost as cool as Irma.
He says no.
No, he did not.
Yeah, being a turd.
God, it's hotter than hell.
It's 80 here.
God. Well, and the fireworks. People are shooting off fireworks now because it's legal in Iowa. I hate that I have to be appropriate because my little baby boy B is standing right there.
Oh, he's heard it all.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, he said it's okay. He understands.
Oh.
Be off. Don't.
Hello.
Hey,
All right,
B,
play.
is it okay if I interview Daddy?
Go. Here, take this and go. Hey, go. Go. Benjamin.
Yo,
Hi.
yo.
All right.
Benji, Ben, or shall I call you Ben?
I don't care. Benji's great.
Thank you.
Hi, Gail. Hey, Karen.
Yes. Hey, Gail, dude, what about me? Am I like chopped liver? You just say hi to Benji, but not me? That's all right. I'm not really all that important.
Yeah, we all are.
Look at you, Mr. Positive. Okay, Benji. Talk to me, dude.
What do you want to
Tell
know?
me about life.
About what part of life?
I don't know. Fucking tell me a fucking secret.
A secret?
Yeah, tell me a secret. I promise I won't tell anybody.
Bear shits in the woods.
It's not a secret.
Everybody knows that one?
Hi, Gail. Everybody knows that one.
Well,
Do
shit.
you remember? Hey, do you remember? I'm going to share a story with you guys. He will tell his story here in a minute, Gabe. But I'm going to share a story. When I first started in this group, I didn't feel comfortable as a female. And my social anxiety. Benji was the first person that I actually reached out to. And thank you, Angel. He was so welcoming, so appropriate, just so caring and considerate. And
Thank.
Benji, that's something I'll never forget.
Well, thank you.
And FYI, I still count on him. If I get friend requests, I'll ask Benji. I will. I'll message Benji and say, hey, do you know this guy? is he safe? And if Benji says it's okay, then I will accept the friend request. But if Benji says, I don't really know him all that well, then I usually pass on it.
Yep. It's only happened a couple times, so.
Yeah, it is. But you've
Stephanie,
always looked at it.
what's
Oh,
that?
yep. I love it. You've always looked out for me, and I
Yeah,
and I appreciate it.
that's just my nature.
It is your nature because you're just
Yeah,
a caring motherfucker.
that I am. That I am.
All right. Would you be willing to share your Oh, you got Peter. Forget Peter.
Peter! I see it.
All right. Do you want to Would you be willing to share your story with us about what brings you to WD30? Because we have 23 viewers now, so I think we got a pretty good start.
Yes, Gabe, I am.
Magandang umaga. Or is it magandang gabi? It might be magandang gabi, Ali. Ali,
What?
I can't remember.
What's
I
that mean?
speak, I speak Tagalog. Not very well.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
What are you drinking?
Good. Some cranberry juice. Do you want some?
Sure. Just pour it on the microphone. It'll come out on my end.
Well, why don't you just drive down here? You're only in Michigan.
That's true. 10 hours away, I think. Something like that.
10 hours.
Yeah.
We can meet halfway and split it.
There we go. Illinois, I think.
Yeah. Hi, Peter. Yes, our broken souls.
No,
Sincerely broken
Leslie.
fucking souls.
What? Yes, we are
Go
broken
ahead.
soul. No, Leslie was diagnosed in May of 2015. She hadn't been feeling well for a while, and we thought she was pregnant. And she started showing, but all pregnancy tests showed that she wasn't pregnant, but she thought maybe she had an ectopic. Hey, Lynn. Um, ectopic pregnancy. So we went to the doctor, and he didn't like the bulge in her left side and sent us down to the emergency room. And that's where they did a CT scan and all that stuff and found out that she did a CT and came back that she had a very large mass in her abdomen. And it was confirmed leiomyosarcoma. And we got into University of Michigan sarcoma specialists. And they wanted to do radiation, did radiation for 6 weeks. And surgery was scheduled for September 1st. And she had a rough go. It fucked her up. It was horrible. She spent a lot of time at the U of
I have a
M.
question. When I
Yes.
raise my hand, can I interject and ask a
Yeah,
question?
sure.
How old was she when all this started?
37.
She was 37.
Yep. And
Okay.
we had a 4-year-old boy, B, which a lot of you guys have already seen. And so they said that it was a 50-50 chance that she would make it, but her type of cancer was rare. Like 6 in 1 million would get it. And it's just a bit. And she, on the 23rd of July, I was almost to work. It was on a Thursday morning. And she calls me and she's like, honey, I can't move. I'm sweating. We need to do something. So I get back home and I come home and she's sitting on the couch and she is just pouring down sweat. And I call U of M. They say, get her ass up there. I go to touch her. I can't even touch her. She's septic and she's puking and losing all bodily functions. Go. Sorry, B's there. I don't like telling the story is fine, but it usually triggers him and then he goes down in a downward spiral. And so we get her to the U of M and she had severe tumor necrosis and basically had emergency surgery on July 24th, spent 7 hours in surgery. And she
Hey,
came, yeah, sorry,
of what year? July 24th of
2015.
Okay.
Sorry, forgot years. My bad.
Okay, you're fine. You're
All
fine.
this all this happened in 2015. So she made it through surgery. They removed her left kidney, part of her colon, a lot of her small. They removed everything. They cut her from hip to all the way up her rib cage and all the way down to the other hip. And so she spent 30 days at the U of M hospital. She had also developed what they call a fistula in her duodenum, which means basically an ulcer that they couldn't surgically repair. And when they said it either spontaneously repairs itself or it could be months, it could be weeks. We don't know. So basically, we were waiting on this fistula to get us to the chemo part because they couldn't get all the cancer out, but she was pretty much fucked. So she kept fighting. She ended up spending 123 days in the hospital. I brought her home the Monday before Thanksgiving. So we got her home. She was starting to do physical therapy. She was doing good, getting stronger. And this whole time, she hadn't had any solid food since July 22nd. Her last meal was bratwurst that I grilled on the 22nd of July. And
How
yeah,
long did she go? How long did she go without having a real solid meal?
uh,
Um,
almost 8 months. So she started getting to that point where the fistula was healing, where we were going to start her on a liquid diet. She could only have sips of water this whole time. I mean, just sips of water, just basically brush your teeth, and that was it. So we get her, she's doing good, and then all of a sudden she just wasn't looking right, and she was vomiting, and just it was just not right. So we went back up to U of M on December 17th. Well, actually, we went up there on the 14th, which is our birthday. We both shared the same birthday, and she got some blood because her hemoglobins were down, and so we had date night at U of M. It was great, and they wanted to run some tests. They did an upper and lower GI, but they wanted to keep her overnight because she was dehydrated. So they kept her overnight. I got back home and got our son, tucked him in, called Leslie, said goodnight to her, and I went to go to work in the morning. I'm a carpenter, I work construction. So I get to the shop and something's just telling me I can't work today. This is December 18th of 2015. And so I come home and I'm laying on the couch and um, my phone rings and I see a 734 number and I knew it was Ann Arbor. And it's Dr. Chang. And he goes, Mr. Nachtraub? I said, yes, Dr. Chang. And he goes, are you in a house? And I said, no, I'm not. He goes, how long till you get here? I said, well, I'm in Blissfield. I'm about 40 minutes away. And he goes, okay. Well, I looked at Leslie's CT scans and all her results and all that stuff. There's nothing we can do for her. She's not going to make it. So I call her parents. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he goes, do you want me to tell her? And I said, no, don't tell her. Please don't tell her. Wait till I get there. And he goes, okay, page me when I get there or when you get there and I'll come in. I said, all right. So we get there with her mom and her dad, and it's on a Friday. Yeah, it is a Friday. And I show up, and she looks really good because she's hydrated, and they pumped her full of blood, and I was just like, wow, that's my wife. And she's like, what are you guys doing here? And I had already paged Dr. Chang, just waiting on him to get there. And I'm like, oh, we just wanted to come see you. And her parents would never take off work unless the shit hit the fan. And we were all trying to keep a straight face on this. Dr. Chang comes in, and Leslie looks at her or looks at him and says, hey, how you doing? And he goes, Mrs. Nachtraub, I looked at your results and there's nothing we can do for you. The cancer came back and she lost it. And how long do I have? And he goes, maybe a week, maybe a couple days. And she looked at me and she said, take me home. So Dr. Chang discharged us, and I brought her home, got her comfortable. Meanwhile, you know, didn't tell our son because his birthday's on December 22nd, so we didn't want to ruin his birthday. And um, long story short, my sister came into town the next day with her two daughters, who were about Ben's age, and she told them that why they were coming to Blissfield from Chicago. So when they got here, B thinks that all these people are here to see him for his birthday, and he's like, "Oh, everybody's here to see me for my birthday," and they're like, "No, we're here because your mom's dying." So that's how my son found out that his mom was dying, was from
No.
6 and 7 year olds, and he comes flying down my stairs, going, "Daddy, Daddy, 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 tell Charlotte and Evelyn that my mommy's not dying. She's getting better." And I'm like, "I can't do that." And so we kicked everybody out of the house, and we told him what was happening, and she she fought really hard. I mean, it's, the next, she made it to January 9th of 2016. At 8:39 in the morning is when she passed, and I was right there, and that was it. And I joined this shitty club of widowhood, but I'm glad that I've got all of you guys. I gotta let my dog inside. Sorry. See, that's fat white dog. So, and it's just been me and him ever since. So, but we're doing
Benji.
it.
Oh, my sweet Benji.
Yep, it
You
sucks,
know,
but
I,
the,
I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't be doing this interview with you because you and I have shared our stories before, so I do know a lot about you know what she'd gone through and what you guys have gone through. Where was B when she passed?
he that morning on Friday morning, I called the lady that watched him, and I said, "Can you come get B for the day?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Is everything all right?" And I said, "I just don't think Leslie's going to make it very long, and I just don't want him here." And she's like, "Absolutely." So she came over here. I got Ben dressed. He comes down the stairs, and Leslie um, said, "Come here, my baby." And this is her last lucid moment. I mean, just like true, it was Leslie. That was my wife, and she sat up, which she hadn't sat up in so long, and just sits up and gives B a big hug and says, "Mommy loves you so very much, little boy. I love you. I love you," and just all this stuff. And basically said goodbye to her son and said, "I will see you later," because we never said goodbye because goodbyes are permanent. So it's always "see you later" in my house. And and she gave him a kiss, and he left with Diane. And that whole day, I remember leaving. I had to go pay my house payment. I left to go pay my house payment, come home, and she was just not there. I mean, she was there, but not there. And I called Diane and said, B doesn't need to come home. And she's like, "Okay, I'll keep him busy." And she passed the next morning. And then all day, excuse me, I spent trying to figure out how I was going to tell a 4-year-old or 5-year-old, sorry, because he's 5 at that time, that his mom wasn't here anymore. So I spent all day trying to figure this out. So finally, about 8 o'clock at night, I'm like, "I got the speech. I got it. This is going to be it." And so I called Diane. Diane brings him home, and he walks in the door. He's all excited. "Daddy, look I've got cards for you and Mommy, like these love letters and stuff I love." And B, Mommy's not here anymore. she's gone. And he, you know, we spent the next, I don't know, 3 hours crying and, you know, screaming and hooting and just, you know, absorbing the loss together as father and son. And it sucked. It's the worst pain ever to tell your children that their mom or father is no longer with us. But I always tell them that mommy got the last, you got the last of mom. You know, I tell them that all the time. You know, after that, she fell asleep, buddy.
God damn you, Benji.
You wanted
I
me to
know.
share?
I know. Why did I ask? Why did I ask? Because I mean I knew the story.
Well, I
I
know.
didn't know that I didn't know that part of the story about the letters.
Oh, yeah. There's, but I'm glad that, and we always told him from the get go that we didn't know if mommy was going to make it or not. You know, so we didn't want to keep him, you know, we didn't know. Because we didn't know if she was, which way it was going to go. We had no idea. So, I don't know. Some people didn't think that was a very good idea, and other people, you know, thought it was great. But
You know, I had the same issue with, you see, as you know, remember, I was told Chad there was nothing left to do with my husband in April of 2015, and that his symptoms would start to show at the end of May. So I had from April until May to tell my kids, and I opted to not tell them for 2 weeks, and then I decided I need to tell them. And I got resistance from some family saying, "Do you think you need to tell your children this right now?" And I had said, "This is a small town. It's gonna get out. And
exactly,
I'll be goddamn if my kids hear it from somebody else."
exactly, yeah,
So yeah, I had the same well, my conversation was a little different because mine was my husband was sitting right there
right,
watching because he didn't have this. I mean, he physically had the strength, but emotionally, he didn't have the strength to tell the
right,
boys. I had to do it, and I had to hold them.
right,
And so yeah,
yeah, and it
fuck,
sucks.
yeah, fuck those people who. Well, I don't think you should have done it that way. Well, you want in this fucking position, take the position, because I sure
That's
as
what
hell don't want to do it.
I tell people all the time now. I was like, I hope to God you're never in this position, in this boat. You know, you don't want to walk in my shoes. You don't want to have the, you know, I want my mommy. He's screaming and kicking me, and you know, because he wants his mommy. You know, but nobody sees that. Only I do. You know, I mean, he's a great kid. You know, but I mean, every little boy wants his mom for crying out loud. You know, and it's. I mean, that's the hurt that sucks for me. Is, you know, he doesn't get that.
Not being
That
able to make it right.
right. Exactly.
I mean, you want to fix everything for them, but you can't.
No. Yeah, and there's no words that are gonna help ease it either. I mean, I've learned that along. You know, I just let him go when he gets like that. You know.
You know, a story that I've shared with you before was, leading up to my husband's death, it was constantly raining. And right up to his death, it was still raining. But the day of his funeral, it was sunny and there was a beautiful rainbow. But that night, it started downpouring rain, and my boys broke down in my lap. And I had said, God didn't create cancer, something evil did. He said God created the doctors that tried to save Daddy. And because they were unable to save Daddy, God's crying. And that's why it's been raining so hard this past couple days. Well, the past couple weeks. And for the longest time, my youngest was 7 at the time. For the longest time, whenever it rained, he would come up to me and say, God's crying, isn't he? And I said, yes, because he didn't want to have to take your dad.
Yeah, there's it. Leslie's service was January 15th in Michigan, cold. And that day started off sunny and unusually warm for January, and I like mid 30s. And after her service, I come outside. I don't even really know why, but I walk outside and it's cloudy, and then the skies opened up and it poured and it poured and it poured. And as soon as I came home, it stopped raining. I mean, it was just like boom, it was done. It was like holy shit. And I believe in the signs, I believe in some of that stuff, especially cardinals, because I even got them tattooed on.
Me too. I believe in cardinals too. And I have two of them that I see on a regular basis. And it just makes me smile. And I sound like a crazy person, but I fucking talk to them. I
I
say,
do
hey,
too.
honey, do ya?
Yeah, B we'll see a cardinal and we'll say hi, mommy, or B does butterflies, and he's like, look, B, Dad, mommy's here. She's here to say hi to us. And it helps him, and it brings him comfort, and it brings me comfort too, because it's just I've never seen cardinals so much until after she passed away.
I
So
know. Well, you know what's odd is to me, it's kind of similar to the cancer thing. Until you're actually impacted by cancer, you don't know just how rampant it is. I mean, I didn't
yeah,
know that cancer was all over the place, was all around me until
yep,
after my husband was diagnosed.
yep,
And
and then and all kinds of different cancers. I thought cancer was just cancer. It wasn't like they're like, oh, she's got like one of the most rarest cancers ever. Like what? I'm like, holy crap, and it's
yeah,
like nuts.
it is nuts.
Yeah, and then you learn all about the medical field, like Lynn just said. She's thought she was in the medical field. Her doctors and nurses did.
Oh yeah, Lynn, I feel the same way. I considered myself more of that's exactly what I was going to say, an advocate.
Yep.
I was an advocate for my husband. You didn't you didn't treat my husband a certain way. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
no,
Oh, I know.
nobody. You know what? No one could take care of your spouse as best as we
You
could.
right. Yeah, that's
And
exactly. Yeah, and then you see them in that much pain, and then those other people that just didn't care, and you're like, get the fuck away from them. I'll do it. Treat them with kindness. Treat them with care. I mean, they're going through the worst thing ever in their lives, and you're being an asshole. You know.
I never ran into that. Fortunately,
I
except once, and that was a lab technician, and I ripped her fucking head off. I mean, I
right.
literally said, "Get the fuck out," and I scared her. She ended up backing out of the door because I scared her so bad.
Well, Leslie was in a what they call a long-term care facility, LPACs, which is like step-down care. It's like way down there, and they don't hire. It was just horrible. She had tubes in her liver and her gastric and her duodenum, and they were trying to pull tubes out so to get her plumbing working, which what the plumbing, and they they wouldn't pull out the T tube, and they're like, "What's the T tube?" They didn't know what a T tube was. I'm like, "It's her biliary drain. It's the one on the right side." They wouldn't do it. They clamped her gastric tube, and she started puking because all the stuff was getting in her stomach and backing up, and she was throwing up. And I'm at home, and she's calling me, going, "Honey, you got to do something for me." So I had to drive down to Toledo, which is about half-hour drive, 35-minute drive, go in because they wouldn't listen to her. And she's telling them it's all wrong. And I left all the shit right there for them. And I was, oh my God, I was so pissed.
No
I was so,
shit.
yeah, it was bad. We had a rough go until all the doctors at U of M were fabulous. And Leslie had worked for a retina surgeon who's a fabulous guy. I mean, he is awesome. He was my advocate. If I couldn't get shit done, he would call people for me. Like the head of ProMedica, which is the big hospital system down here. He got answers if I needed them. And he'd call the U of M for me and stuff. So it's
So how old was Leslie when she passed away?
38 because her birthday was
And
December 14th. And I was 39. And
you were
Ben was
30.
5.
Benji, what's your what was your favorite quality about your wife?
Her boobs. Oh, that's not quality. That's an asset.
Eh,
No,
An asset's an asset, dude.
no, she was very caring. She was a damn good mom. She didn't want to have kids, and
Ooh.
because her dad had left her, and then her adopted dad left her, so she had got abandonment issues. I would guess I'd say. And then when we started dating, and I'm like, I want to have 5 kids, and she's like, I'm not having any, and I'm like, oh, I'll change that. And so anyway, and I remember even talking to her mom. Her mom goes, she doesn't want to have kids, and I'm like, we'll change that. And then I remember telling her mom, or we told her mom on May 9th of 2010, we were having a kid, and she's like, oh my God, you did change her. I'm like, yep. So she was a good
Oh,
mom. She was caring. She'd give the
but
shirt
you
off
only
her
got, hey, dude, you only got one though. You didn't get five, so nice
back.
try.
I know, I tried. I tried though. Which light bulb?
Not enough.
Okay, I'll turn it. I guess something's not working in the house.
Oh,
I don't know what. It's nothing of purpose right now.
not something that needs addressed, by the way.
What's that?
So, so your favorite part about her was she didn't want kids, and she turned out to be an amazing mama.
Yeah, she is an amazing mama. She was. She would give the shirt off her back to somebody that was close. She was just. She'd bend over backwards and it was awesome. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, you're such a great guy," and yada yada yada, and all this stuff. And I'm like, she made me. You know, I was always caring, and I was always. But when you have somebody behind you like that just has your back no matter what, and lets you be you, and it's like boom on top of the world. But when it's ripped away from you, holy shit, does it take you way down, way, way down. And to try to climb up from that has been a motherfucker because I don't want to be down there. I want to be where I was. I'm never going to be the same, obviously, but I want to be, she told me, she had told me that she goes, I want you to move on, move forward. Because I'm like, I'm never going to date. I'm never going to do anything, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, I want somebody else to experience the love that you gave to me. And I'm like, wow. And she goes, I want somebody to experience you. And I'm like, holy crap. So I'm trying my best.
She sounds amazing and so incredibly fucking selfless.
She accepted, she cried when we told her that she was going to pass. And then found, when we told, when Ben found out. And then that was, that was it. She never cried another tear. She, she told me, she goes, I remember her looking at me because I was like obviously down in the shitter and just like, and she goes, you better not quit making me laugh during this. She goes, you better make me laugh. She goes, just make me laugh. So I tried my best at that. I got her
I
laugh a
bet
couple.
you did. Well, you told me the cheesiest joke I'd ever heard in my life. So
Which,
hopefully you didn't tell her that joke. I can't even remember what it was, but it made me chuckle.
why do they call? Wait, I forget. I've got some cheesy ones. My son helps me out on that though.
They were, guys, they were dad jokes that he told me, and they really fucking cracked me up. I mean, just because I wasn't anticipating a dad joke from my dirty bird friend Benji, but they were fantastic, and they
Well,
cheered
thank
me up when I needed it. You know, you're right. We'll never be the same. And I think that's a big step for us is to admit we'll never be the same. What I think
you.
is the most frustrating is when you're climbing that mountain and you get to that point of, okay, I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing it. I think I'm doing it. Then boom, you slide right back down. I mean, I don't know. Do you ever feel that way?
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm getting somewhere, and like, okay, I can do this, and then all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, I'm back to square one, and it sucks because I don't know why I'm at square one. I know why, but I don't know what brought me back to square one. Like
Yeah.
out of nowhere, like I wake up that day and I'm like, holy crap, I'm yeah. But you know what? I just keep plugging away. I got to give Ben the best life I possibly can, and I have to be happy to be and for him to be happy. So that's where like all like my um doing the memes and all that stuff in the morning is get people to laugh because yeah, it sucks, you know. But if we can laugh,
And you,
that can, what's that?
well, I was just gonna say, I told you before how much you remind me of my husband because he was the same way. He'd say the most inappropriate things possible, but he kept his sense of humor about him. So I absolutely love it when I read your memes in the morning because they crack me up. It just not only does it make me, long for my husband, but it still makes me fucking laugh my ass off. I go, Jesus Christ, Ben, really? Come on.
Oh yeah,
But I don't know about you guys, but we so appreciate, I do at least, those fucking memes.
they're fun. Sometimes I do the ones with like I'll have B read them, and sometimes he doesn't get them, and sometimes he's like, Dad, do one, do that one. I'm like, okay. So,
Oh,
but it's fun.
that's sweet.
All
Did
right.
anyone have a full on anger stage? Yes, Angel, I did. I was going to punch a window out, and then I realized that I don't have an emergency contact for when I break my hand, and well, when I cut my hand up. And then I started crying again. But yeah, I had a full on rage song. I mean, rage song, a rage. Did you, Benji? Did you have that full on anger, or did you?
I didn't. I had I had panic attacks. Like, holy fuck, how am I gonna freaking make this work? How am I going to keep this house? How am I going to do this? How am I going to freaking take care of a kid if he's puking and shitting all at the same time? Because I'm going to start puking. How am I going to pay the bills because I don't do any of this stuff? I mean, what the fuck? I was in such a state of confusion, a fog. I mean, just horrible for like at least a year and a half. And now I get angry, not full on anger, but I get a little angry sometimes. Like, why did you take her from me when there's other assholes in this world that should have left before her? But that's just me being selfish. And people say, God, there's a plan, blah, 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 blah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I,
And then don't you just want to say, fuck that plan? You want to live this life? Go ahead, motherfucker.
yeah, yeah, it's great. You know,
God,
yeah. Well, and
it
I
is.
love
It's been,
the one where people. I
go
don't know
ahead.
how I've had it so many times. I got so sick and tired of answering. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. And one time, somebody called me on the wrong day, and they said, "I don't know how you do it." And I said, "You wouldn't fucking believe this, but at the funeral home, they give you a packet with instructions how to do it." And they're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "No, you fucking idiot. I don't know what the fuck
Oh,
I'm doing."
that's
Yeah.
funny, Ben.
Oh, I know. I was just sick
Oh,
and
sweet Ben.
tired of that shit.
That
You know?
I do too. I do too. You're a strong woman. You're raising two boys. Yeah, you're doing this. You're doing that. Well, yeah, it doesn't fucking feel that way. I
Right.
mean, I still have the panic and anxiety attacks. So yeah, no, I feel your
Yeah.
pain. But yeah, no, I don't fucking feel strong. Don't ask me how I do it, cause shit, I don't know how I do it.
Right. I don't even barely. Some days I don't even know if I can wipe my own ass. Well, I do, but fireworks.
So,
Huh?
can you hear? Can you hear my fireworks going on around here?
Yeah. These are like, okay, they're over. They shot their load. They're done.
They shot their load. I think
Yeah.
they shot their load here too. They're gonna start back up though. I need some more cranberry juice. No, Lynn, I have not been drinking. And if I look like how you feel, then you must have had a rough fucking day too. And no, Ben, yeah, Ben's a little fucked up at times, but at
Yes, I
times,
am.
I think that's what makes you so endearing and so lovable.
Oh boy.
Do you have a guest tonight?
Uh, yeah, they're inside. I can get her if you'd like.
Well, no, you don't have to. I was just kind of curious if you wanted to. You know, you're more than welcome to.
Well, I know. Yeah, she's in there with her two boys are here, and B. She's like, so are we all gonna be playing outside, or I'm like, I don't care, but
Well,
she didn't think.
here's a question for you, Benji. When did you start the dating? When did you start actually making an effort to date?
Make an effort to date. I don't think I
Yeah.
really effort. This kind of just happened. I made the effort probably a year after she passed. Well, not even. I did like the whole online dating. I put probably about 6 8 months after she passed away. I did the online dating. I never met anybody because I hated the whole freaking talking back and forth on Messenger. Why do you have your son all the time? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I got divorced, and divorce is about the same thing as losing a spouse. We'll never talk again. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm done with this shit. So I figured, you know what? If it happens, it happens. I wasn't really looking, and boom, now it's here. Yes,
Knocking
Lynn,
on
or
your
guessing
door.
games. Not good at the guessing game.
I know. No,
Yeah.
no, don't fuck with the guessing games.
But I met her back in October because I live in a small town. She's got a son that's a year older than my son, and she's got a younger son. They were playing at the park, and we talked for,
Stacy.
huh?
It's Stacy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And, and it just kind of grew from there. Kids would play, and I wasn't looking for anything. She wasn't looking for anything. And it just kind of was like, there it is. So we've been
Boom.
dating, you know, finally calling her girlfriend and boyfriend. Like, at first, I'm like, nope, you're not my girlfriend. And she's like, okay, whatever. I mean, she's like, well, then you're not my boyfriend. And I'm like, well, okay. But she's actually really, really good. You know, she doesn't try to take, any motherly love or any of that stuff. You know, she's a good woman. She's been good to me. Thoughtful, caring, all that stuff. Been really cool.
And does she work?
Yes. She's a waitress right now. She's got her kids full time. Well, she's waiting till Brantley, her youngest, is in school, so she can work, because she basically would go work for childcare and all that stuff. Because childcare is freaking expensive for 2 kids. So.
No shit.
Yeah, so she works as a waitress 4 nights a week. So.
And then what?
Pretty good.
Brantley, that's a fucking badass name. You said once he goes to school, she wants to go to school, or?
No, she wants to go into, I don't know what she wants to go into. She wants to just start working. That's what she's waiting for. Or getting back
So
to work.
you.
What the hell? Oh, she used to work
Yeah.
with special needs kids.
Well, she sounds amazing. So, what was your first date? Actual date.
I took her to dinner, like, I don't think I don't know. I have to ask her because I don't remember that shit. I don't.
What the fuck, dude? How can you not remember your first date?
What? I took her to dinner, maybe. Something like that. Do you want me to ask
You took her to dinner. Well,
Yeah.
if you're gonna put her, if you're gonna bring her on, I would love to ask her if you don't mind me asking her.
I don't care. Hold on.
We get to interview Benji's girlfriend, guys.
Stacy.
You know, Lynn, I can't remember where I got this bracelet. I'm gonna guess Maurice's, but it's one of my favorites too.
Stacy.
No, I wish.
Come here, please.
How do I look, guys? Do I look like a moron? Do you look cool?
Yeah, look rad. Here she is.
Hello.
Stacy!
Hi.
Hi!
Hi.
I have
how
seen.
Are you?
I am good. I have seen beautiful pictures of you.
Oh,
You are stunning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Benji shares. I hope. Did you tell her that you shared pictures with us?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay, good.
Like
Good.
one picture. Like he showed me one picture, but yeah, just like one picture that you just showed me, like the first picture that you put on there. Of just me.
But then the one we were at Sky Zone or something.
Oh yeah. When the kids were playing. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Lynn.
All right, Stacy, it's your turn. I've been interviewing Benji. Your turn.
Oh, for me.
He has no.
He has what?
He has no idea about what you guys did on your first date.
Oh, okay. So like, well, did he tell you how we like first met and everything?
She had,
Yeah.
Oh, our
Yes.
first date. Oh
See?
gosh, I don't even know.
You don't
Like,
remember either?
we always have kids, so well, like if you really want to call it a date, like he got all what, baby? What? Okay, I'll be right in. Okay.
Damn kids.
That's great.
There's fireworks going off. Okay, hang on. I'll be right there.
Oh,
Okay.
they're going off here too.
Yeah.
I won't keep. Hey,
I'll be right.
I won't keep you too long. I
No
won't keep
problem.
you too long. I promise.
So we didn't have like we didn't go on like official date until Ben was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna ask this girl out to go on a date. And like once like the date was in his head, like he got all nervous and stuff, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like we go out all the time, you know. So I don't know, I guess our first date, I remember what I wore. I had like a orangey red dress on, and I had cute boots on, and we went to.
Hi.
That's Brantley.
Is this Brantley?
Yes.
Yeah, say hi, Brantley.
Hello,
I
Brantley.
hear from fireworks coming.
You hear fireworks?
They're coming.
Oh,
I can't
he's a
remember where we went,
dude.
though. We went somewhere by the mall.
Oh yeah, we went to Bar Louie.
Yeah, that's where we went. And then we went to Marshall's and Home Goods. I do remember that. So that was like official or whatever. But we'd been out to dinner. We've been out to lunch and stuff like by ourselves. But mostly we have the kids.
Old school.
So yeah.
Do a little Home Depot.
Yes.
A little Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah, I just don't know how much time we're gonna have. You know. What?
Where's the fireworks?
They're coming. They're coming.
So how long have you guys been dating?
Since October.
That's when
We met in October, and then we were hanging out, and I don't know, stuff got real.
Like probably 2 months ago.
Yeah.
2 months ago.
Yeah, maybe 2 months ago, when
I decided I was gonna open up my heart and let her in because I didn't want all this stuff.
yeah, and I just was like, I just accepted him where he was. I accept him where he is now. You know, just going with. He set the pace, and that was completely okay with me.
Fireworks!
So, you know, I enjoyed his company. I enjoy the fact that like our kids get along, and that, you know, the way that we met was great. So
The sense
yeah,
of
it's just been a natural. I don't know how to. It's just been very
got
natural.
the
as far as, like,
dog.
the pace of everything, and
We
you know,
see a firework before.
just from day to day, you know.
Okay, bye.
Stacy, you have a lot of people saying hello to you, and you guys have a
Hello,
lot of
everybody.
people saying how adorable you guys are together.
That's so cute.
You guys are
Yay.
cute.
Woohoo!
Oh, sweet Benji's got himself a girly.
Don't tell anybody.
Right.
I won't. I won't
She's
tell
just
anyone
a
you
girl
have a girlfriend.
She's just a girl down the
Except
street.
the
Yeah, and I
20-some
live like 10
people.
houses down, so it's really. I live like 10 houses down the street, so it's like crazy. It's just the whole thing was just. It was just God. It was just God. That was just straight up how it was. Like everything was just orchestrated like so perfectly. Because I wasn't looking for anything at all. I was very just content doing my thing, and then I'm at the park, and then there's this guy that shows up, and you know, and I knew of his wife. Look it.
We'll go over there.
So like I knew
Well, are
of
the
him.
Firework.
are the fireworks starting? Because once those start, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight.
No, they're just some jerks around my town.
Kind of like me. I have them surrounding me, going off.
No. I'm saying around my town. They're assholes.
It's not that
Mine
bad.
too.
Yeah.
Yep. Needed.
So,
Could have been.
Stacy, what do you think is Ben's best quality? You know, we talked about, what kind of why you liked him, but what do you think is his best quality?
That he stands by his word. He always follows through. That is the number one quality that I just adore about him. That he is there. He is there when you need him. He's there because he wants to be. And I can just trust in that. I know he's gonna be there. So that says a lot. Which is very cool.
And Ben, what is your favorite quality about Stacy?
Her boobs.
Let's see your boobs. Benji,
You
show
go
me your boobs.
first.
We're not.
Stacy.
There's yours. Here's
Up.
mine.
Nice.
They asked
I
me
give you
what
2 thumbs up, but I gotta hold the phone.
She asked me what my phrase. What'd you ask me about, Leslie?
Calm down.
What was my favorite quality about Leslie? And I said her boobs.
Oh yeah, she had huge boobs. So yeah, not so much here, but yeah.
I can't.
Did you know Leslie before?
Yeah, I mean she was best friends with my cousin actually. I mean, I didn't know her personally. I had seen her. We'd like bump into each other at parties. I talked to her a time or two, but like I didn't really know her on a personal level. I mean, we grew up in the same town, we went to the same school, but she was really, really close with my cousin. So, you know, which was really cool too because my cousin lives up north here in Michigan, and when she came home, I told her that I said, you know that I'm dating somebody, right? And she's like, what? Who is it? You know, like freaking out. And so she's like, well, is it somebody that I know? And I said, maybe. And so then when we showed up, they were at a campground here locally, and when we showed up, her husband went to go shake Ben's hand, and he's like, hey, I'm so and so. And then he looks at me, he's like, hey, it's Ben. And then my cousin Corey's just like kind of awestruck. And so when we went inside, she just started bawling because she was just like, oh my God, I love Ben, and I loved Leslie, and I love you too, and I'm just so happy. And so it was just really cool. It was really cool.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be a WB production.
Right.
Gabe, you hear that?
I don't know if Gabe listens well. Not to mention, he likes to steal people's ideas and take them on as their own, as his own. So,
Uh-oh.
oh yeah.
Bomb pops
See,
for everybody.
give your mind, Brantley. Did you hear that? I got some boomers going on.
She's got fireworks.
It is so flipping hot out here.
Yeah, I got fireworks. Yeah,
Gabe,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, Gabe's
You're
on it.
wow. Yeah, you're
I've
wow.
been listening the entire time, boo.
That's Gabe.
I know.
Mom,
Yes, Gabe is
that
so full.
lighter.
Stacy, Gabe is so full of crap.
I know.
He
I
really
watch
is.
him. I I know little things about some of you guys, but then I always have to like ask again, okay, was that so and so or was that so and so? And also, by the way, I think that this is so cool that you guys have this to be able to support one another and to talk to each other, and you know, that is awesome. Very, very cool.
B, turn the cue
And
card.
that we will give Gabe his credit for. Doesn't mean I don't want to punch him in the dick any less. Oh, Brantley.
Right. It's okay. Like who you're talking about? There's a guy named Dick that you know? Yeah. We're good. We're good.
Punch him. Right.
No, I just
What
talk
do
about.
you do?
He's
Oh.
asking, who do you work for? Aliens. No, I just talk about you guys and like how you guys help me and you know what we chit chat about and you know the group has
I do
been
the
good.
same. I do the same thing too, Benji. I
Yeah.
share with my family. I don't share like names or anything, but I share stories of people who share something similar to me.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like the cancer widows and my widow wife, she's a suicide widow. But yeah, I share with those people that are close to me the benefits that I gain from this group. So
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's important.
I do that with Stacy and you know how much it helps like when how we can relate on that level of loss that
Yeah.
you know she can't understand.
Right.
You know, and she doesn't try to understand. She just wants to listen, and that's it. You know, and that is the biggest thing is just listening.
Yeah.
You know,
You know, it is a big thing to listen and to admit when you're wrong.
well, no,
Are you capable of that, Gabe? Or, I mean, not Gabe. Are you capable of that, Benji? Or is it because you have balls? You're not.
no, they're in her purse.
Stacy, is he capable?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
capable.
of course.
Yeah, you know the
Absolutely.
one of the emotions that I had like we started like when I knew I had feelings for her. And she was at my house, and I was upstairs doing something in my room, and she was downstairs, and I went down a rabbit hole of some memories from Leslie's service, and I read the books, and I'm bawling and crying my eyes out, and I come downstairs, and she's in my guest bedroom, and she's like, "What's going on?" I said, "You want to know what's really fucked up? Is I love somebody who's never coming back to me, but yet I have very strong feelings for you." You know how screwed up that is. I mean, it is just it's hard to wrap your head around when it happens. Because I told her I was, and she talks about Leslie. She's like, that's your wife, and it's like, wow, that's comforting to me. Is that not her trying to replace any anything, and she lets me be me. And not she doesn't get jealous. You know.
Well, and that goes both ways. We're very accepting of each other. But I mean, I will never compare. Like, I think that one of the things that really bothered him about a lot of people was that people would compare a divorce to a death, and there's no comparison. There's nothing comparable about that. And even though
Thank
we can relate
you.
in different ways, but I mean, I only can understand. I am here to support, and I'm here to listen, and I think that it's wonderful that he talks about his wife, because you want to keep her memory alive, and especially for his son, you know. And so, like,
You know,
my kids know who Leslie is. I mean, they know that was B's mom.
I,
I couldn't.
I I was just lipping. I love you,
I know
Stacy.
she's
Oh,
got
I
You're
love you too.
you are you are amazing that you're so accepting and you get it.
yeah.
And that's that's
I
huge,
don't get
Benji,
it,
that
but I get it.
know.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you might not personally have had the experience, but you get where we're coming from with our fucked up dysfunctional thinking.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you're freaking amazing. And when we go to the amusement park to hang out, I think it's going to be just awesome.
Oh, she's going. I was gonna bring like Brantley or something.
Where's the amusement
I
park?
don't,
Oh,
well,
okay.
you know what? Brantley might be taller than Gabe, so he might be able to ride the rides.
Oh,
Gabe! Ms. Nally's being mean to Gabe still. What you gonna do about it? None. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
Well, I won't keep you any longer because I've been on here with you for how long?
I don't know. I don't even know what time it is.
I don't either. Somebody tell us what time it is.
Time check.
I think it was like close to 10. Well, it's dark.
That was brilliant and creative. Thank you, Gabe. Jessica, wifey number 2, missing you. Okay,
Nobody's
nobody's
gonna
telling
tell us
me a
the
time
time.
frame, but
Yep, that's pretty nice.
oh, 9:05. Yes, I've kept you exactly an hour, and that is the goal
Woo!
because
Nice.
Missy and I can stay on forever.
Right.
But Benji, thank you for sharing your story with us,
You're welcome. Thank you
with
for having.
everybody. I
Nice
loved
meeting
it.
you. Nice meeting you.
Stacy,
Go send it
I
back.
look forward to meeting you in person.
Yes, definitely. Me too. Hey, go grab.
You
Go tell him
are
hi.
amazing, and I laughing so hard at Gabe. Yeah,
One second.
blow me, Gabe.
She's going to get B
Blow
real
me,
quick.
Gabe.
So
Benji, Gabe's
what's
being
the
a dick.
what?
Gabe's being a dick.
Well, I don't, Gabe. Gabe. Stacy.
Benji,
Gosh. Hold on. Here comes B. Here. Here he comes.
Bye bye.
bye, 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 B. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
It's Y, Gabe.
Oh, is he
Uh,
spelling
Spell
it
it
wrong?
right, dumbass.
STACY.
Just why? Why?
All right.
All right, Benji, I love you dearly. You're my
Love you
mafia,
too.
Good night.
and you've
Happy
always
4th of
got my
July.
back.
Happy
Stacy,
4th of
I
July,
love
everybody.
you because
Love you.
you love my Benji. Take care of each other.
We will. We will.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
again for hanging.
Have a good night, you guys.
Yep. Bye.
You
Bye.
too. Bye bye.
Bye.